Roland Martin. Brought to you by General Motors, the all-new 2014 Chevrolet Impala with a style that looks to the past, examines the present, and is tailored just for you. Find new roads to 2014 Chevrolet Impala from our Washington, D.C. studios. Roland Martin, good morning.
Good morning, Tom, Sybil, and Jay. There was supposed to be a big MLK, well, there was a big MLK concert in Washington, D.C. on Saturday, honoring his legacy as well as Mahatma Gandhi. The headliner was supposed to be Donnie McClurkin, but a handful of gay and lesbian activists reached out to the mayor of Washington, D.C., said that they did not want him to perform because of comments that he made more than 10 years ago. And the city said, well, it was mutually decided that he would not perform and that Donnie would withdraw from the concert. Is that true? Joining us right now is gospel singer Donnie McClurkin. Donnie, first of all, good morning.
Good morning to you guys. How y'all feeling?
Doing great. So the mayor's office says that you voluntarily withdrew from this concert because you didn't want this to overshadow the event. Is that actually the case?
That couldn't be furthest from the truth. That is absolutely untrue. I never had a conversation with the mayor's office until they released the statement that I had mutually withdrawn.
So what did happen?
What happened?
To this day, all I know is that I was on my way to the airport going to the event, and they called me as I was getting out of the car telling me that I was uninvited and that the mayor had taken me off of the concert because of one man who came to him and gave and protested. And then that's when the whole maelstrom happened. And later on, about 15, 20 minutes later, we heard from the mayor's office, and Chris Murphy it gave us a long spiel about how devastating this was, but it was for the good of the event, and asked me to withdraw. And if I didn't, there would be a whole lot of dredging up past things, and I wouldn't want that for myself. And that's how that happened. I had nothing to do with this except for on my way to the airport to go to the concert.
Do you know the person that complained?
I think they said his name was Phil Pinnell, I believe.
Have you had problems with this person before?
I have never met him.
The city, you were very explicit in telling Murphy that do not tell people that I withdrew because that is absolutely not the case.
That's true. They were telling me that they did this for the benefit of a peaceable event that would be better for all of us. And I told them that I don't appreciate that because that's not the truth. And for them to go and put that out even before speaking with anybody, that was my problem with him. And I told them point blank, my problem is that you all have made it seem as though I've withdrawn. And to this day, I'm on my way to the event. I haven't withdrawn. I haven't even spoken about this. And I'm headed there. And he was saying that it's not beneficial for me to head there. He told my manager that if I came, I would be escorted off the premises.
So they made clear you were not wanted. They were rescinding this invitation, and they've said, well, he's still going to be paid for based upon the contract. But they made it clear that if you showed up, they were going to, you were not going to take that stage.
Yeah, and concerning compensation, they haven't paid me a single penny.
Dang.
Not even a deposit?
Nothing.
So now, yesterday they released a statement, did interviews saying that you have been paid or were going to be paid every cent. You saying that has not happened?
That hasn't happened, and it wasn't communicated to us by the mayor's office at all.
Do you believe it's fair, Donnie? I mean, the comments that gays and lesbians are upset about, you made more than a decade ago about formerly being gay, talking about it as being sin. You made those comments again more than a decade ago. Is it fair for activists to a decade later to say, oh, because he made those comments in that period, he shouldn't do something today here in 2013?
Well, it's not fair, and it's been an ongoing battle. It's been an ongoing political battle. But it's fairness. We're talking about a peace rally, and we're talking about a group of people who have been lobbying for a long time for equality and tolerance, but now have none concerning anybody else who said anything that is against or not pro their agenda. I don't have a problem. You can't call me homophobic if I've been in homosexuality. That's quite a stretch. But if for them to think that it's fair or okay or tolerant to uninvite someone simply because they have opposing views but have never said anything derogatory about them, simply gave my testimony about what happened with myself.
Would you give that testimony again, Donnie?
Would I give it again?
Yeah, right now.
My thing was from the time I was 8 years old and raped 3 times by my uncle in one night, a prepubescent boy who doesn't have any barriers or buffers. This was something that was instilled in me. And growing up, it grew up in me. And, broken family, broken home, broken psyche, you're looking for attention. And I felt like I wasn't adequate. And the only ones that really paid attention to me were men. And thus, that's how I grew into this. 13 years old, molested in a car in church by my same uncle's son. And this started a pathology. It started a situation in me. And growing up in the church, it was in the church, hidden. And it was like, how can I put it? It's like it's like an animal smelling dead meat. They gravitated to me at a young age. That's how this whole process started. But my conviction, biblically and spiritually, let me know that this was not for me. This was not the lifestyle for me. And consequently, through a series of prayer, and people say, I prayed the gay away. It wasn't praying the gay away. It was finding out who I really am, finding out who God made me to be, and then agreeing with God, even if it was a fight inside of me. And that's how this whole thing happened. So through a couple of, well, not several years of homosexual behavior and activity, finally coming to the point in the church. Now mind this, I was always in the church. That's another story altogether. But I'm finally coming to realizing that this is not who God wants me to be. And then allowing God to show me who I am, make me who I am, and thus that's who I am now. That's all I've ever testified.
Donnie, has the mayor of D.C., Vincent Gray, reached out to you, talked to you, or has it been aides around him?
It's simply been Chris Murphy.
Do you believe the mayor of D.C. owes you an apology for disinviting you for this concert?
I believe that he owes the city of D.C. an apology. He's done a disservice to the faith-based community. And I can take the blow, but he needs to be more concerned about his constituency. And to do something like this at a Martin Luther King peace rally, it is totally against what Martin Luther King stood for.
And the fact that you headed to the event and you hadn't had a down payment at all.
Wow.
On good faith. On good faith.
All good faith, my brother.
Wow. Donnie McClurkin, we certainly appreciate it. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
God bless you all. God bless you all.